Alright, let me ask you a question. How many of you have said, "I'll start in 5 minutes," and then suddenly it's 2 hours later, and you're watching a video on how to organize your bookshelf? Or maybe you're deep into a rabbit hole of conspiracy theories about why cats are secretly in charge of the world? Don't act like you haven't been there. You know what I'm talking about. Procrastination is that sneaky little gremlin that steals your time, leaving you wondering where the day went. But why do we keep doing this? Why is it so easy to avoid what we're supposed to be doing? And more importantly, how do we stop this madness? Stick around, and by the end of this video, you'll be equipped with some simple strategies to outsmart your own brain and get things done. Okay, first things first, procrastination isn't just about being lazy. It's not like you're just sitting there on purpose, hoping the universe will somehow do your homework or clean your room. Nope, procrastination is a brain thing. Here's the deal, your brain loves comfort. It loves the easy, feel-good stuff. So when you have something important to do, like writing an essay or cleaning your entire room, your brain looks at that and says, "Ugh, that sounds hard." But when it sees an opportunity for something easy, like scrolling through Instagram or watching a random YouTube video, or, checking if your neighbor's cat is still sunbathing in the same spot, your brain goes, "Yes, that's the ticket." It's not laziness, it's the brain choosing instant gratification. That's why it's so easy to fall into the trap of procrastination. Imagine your brain is like a car. When you have a task to do, your brain is supposed to hit the gas and zoom straight to the finish line. But when you procrastinate, your brain suddenly becomes a self-driving car that takes the scenic route. Oh look, a squirrel. Oh, what's this? A meme about cats? Oh, I should probably reorganize my sock drawer. And before you know it, you've spent 3 hours doing everything except what you're supposed to do. So why do we procrastinate? Well, it's not because we're lazy. In fact, procrastinators are often super busy, just not with the right things. It's because our brains are wired to avoid discomfort. That big, scary task? It feels like a mountain. And instead of climbing it, we'd rather binge watch a show about people climbing mountains. Irony, right? Let's talk about the 2 types of procrastination. First, there's the "I'll do it later" kind. This is when you tell yourself, "I'll start my homework after one more episode." Spoiler alert, you won't. Then there's the "I'm too overwhelmed" kind. This is when you look at your to-do list and go, "Nope, I'm out. Where's the pizza?" Procrastination feels fun at first, but then reality hits. Deadlines sneak up on you like ninjas. The night before an exam? Boom. Suddenly, you're trying to learn 4 weeks' worth of material in 4 hours. And let's not forget the regret. That of "why didn't I just do it earlier?" moment when you realize you could have avoided all the stress. But don't worry. There's hope. Because next, we're going to talk about how to beat procrastination like a boss. Step 1, the 2-minute rule. If something takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Need to reply to an email? Do it now. Need to put your socks in the laundry? Do it now. Need to drink water? Okay, that was obvious, but you get the point. This rule is based on David Allen's Getting Things Done method. The idea is that small tasks pile up and create mental clutter, making bigger tasks feel even more overwhelming. By handling tiny tasks immediately, you clear the mental space for more important work. Step 2, the Pomodoro technique. This one's simple. Work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. Repeat. Your brain likes short bursts of focus, not marathon study sessions. So instead of saying, "I'll study for 5 hours straight," say, "I'll study for 25 minutes. Trust me, once that timer starts, you'll often keep going. And if not, well, you've earned yourself a 5-minute victory dance. It's like tricking your brain into thinking it only has to focus for a super short time. 25 minutes? Pfft, I can totally handle that, your brain thinks. But then, after 25 minutes it's like, wait, this isn't so bad. I'll keep going. And because those 25 minutes are so short and manageable, your brain doesn't freak out about the task. It's like convincing your brain to start running by saying, "You only have to run to the end of the block," and then realizing, "Hey, I could totally keep going." Plus, those 5-minute breaks? They're like a reward for not giving up after the first minute of focus. A little, "Yay, you did it," that keeps your motivation high. And don't lie, those breaks are probably the highlight of your day. You get to scroll through TikTok, stretch, grab a snack, or even have a mini dance-off with yourself in the middle of the room. This technique is backed by Francesco Cirillo's Pomodoro technique, which is designed to improve focus and efficiency. The idea is that by working in short sprints, you avoid burnout and keep your productivity levels high. So, instead of your brain being like a car stuck in traffic for 5 hours, it's more like a race car zooming through a few laps. And guess what? You'll get more done in less time. Now, here's where it gets really good. Tips 4 and 6 are the secret sauce to beating procrastination. One involves chocolate. Yes, chocolate. And the other is so simple, you'll wonder why you didn't think of it sooner. But you'll have to wait, because spoilers are for Netflix, not productivity videos. Stick around, because these 2 tips might just change your life. Or at least your to-do list. Step 3. Make it ridiculously easy. Let's be honest, starting anything is often the hardest part. If you're like most people, the idea of heading to the gym might sound daunting. You're probably thinking, Ugh, I have to work out for an hour, change into gym clothes, do all that cardio. I don't feel like it today. And then, before you know it, you've spent the next hour convincing yourself that tomorrow will be better. But here's the thing, don't make the process so big and overwhelming. Instead of telling yourself, I have to work out for an hour, break it down into the smallest possible step. Focus on something ridiculously easy like, I just need to put on my workout shoes. That's it. It sounds silly, right? But think about it. Once your shoes are on, you've already taken the first step, and it's pretty hard to back out now. You're already halfway there. It's like when you tell yourself you'll just do one load of laundry, but then end up finishing the whole laundry basket. That tiny commitment often snowballs into something much bigger. This is based on a concept from James Clear's book Atomic Habits, where he talks about making habits easier by breaking them down into micro steps. The idea is that the more friction you remove from the process, the easier it becomes to get started. The less resistance you feel, the more likely you are to take action. Think about the times when you've been really productive. Chances are, it wasn't because you dove straight into a massive task. It was because you broke it down into something simple and achievable. Maybe it was just cleaning your desk, or answering one email. By lowering the bar for what constitutes starting, you trick your brain into thinking it's easy. And before you know it, you're already working on something bigger than you intended. Step 4. Reward yourself. Finished a task? Treat yourself. It doesn't have to be anything big. Maybe it's a piece of chocolate, or 5 minutes of scrolling through memes. Just something to look forward to. It's like giving your brain a high five for a job well done. Step 5. Trick your brain. Tell yourself, I'll only do this for 5 minutes. Your brain will love this because hey, 5 minutes sounds like a breeze, right? It's like telling yourself, I'll just eat one potato chip. And before you know it, the whole bag is gone. But once you start, you'll probably keep going. It's like when you say, I'll watch just one episode of that show on Netflix. And then, whoops, suddenly it's 3 a.m., and you've watched the entire season. The trick here is that your brain doesn't feel overwhelmed by the idea of doing something for just 5 minutes. It feels manageable. So you get started, and then, just like a Netflix marathon, you end up in a productive groove. It's like setting a trap for yourself but in the best way possible. You'll find yourself thinking, wait, this wasn't so bad. I'm already on a roll, might as well keep going. Before you know it, that 5 minutes turns into 30 minutes, an hour or more. And guess what? You didn't even have to wrestle with the inner battle of starting. You just tricked your brain into thinking it was easy. 5 minutes, that's all it took. The key here is not to make distractions disappear, but to add a little friction that makes them less appealing or less easy to access. And trust me, once you're in a productive flow, you won't miss the distractions as much as you think. Sure, it's tough in the beginning, but over time, you'll get used to a more focused environment. And guess what? You'll get more done. Distractions are everywhere, but by making them harder to access, you're giving yourself the space to focus on what really matters. The less you rely on willpower alone, the more you'll be able to dive into your work and make real progress. So the next time you're tempted to check your phone or grab that bag of chips, ask yourself, is it worth the effort to break your focus? If not, make distractions work a little harder for your attention, and you'll find yourself more productive in no time. Now I know what you're thinking. This all sounds great, but what if I still procrastinate? Well, here's the thing. Procrastination is a habit, and habits take time to break. It's like trying to stop eating chips. You might slip up once in a while, and that's okay. The important thing is to keep trying. It doesn't mean you're lazy or incapable. It just means your brain is trying to avoid discomfort. But guess what? Growth happens when you push past that discomfort. Start small. Get something done. Because momentum is a powerful thing. Once you start, it gets easier. Don't let procrastination steal your time. Take control, break it down, and start small. And if all else fails, just remember, even the most productive people procrastinate sometimes. They just don't post about it on Instagram. Now, if you're still watching this instead of doing what you're supposed to do, well, I appreciate it, but also, go get your stuff done. You got this. And if this video helped, maybe don't procrastinate on hitting that subscribe button. Just saying.